Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Steve your Beach coming to you here with the full show preview for WWE SmackDown 12/27. This is the final SmackDown, the final WWE show of 2016. Closing it out, and SmackDown sure is knowing how to close out the year with basically a SmackDown pay-per-view. It almost reminds me a lot of when TNA would basically run TNA Impact, that they would treat it like a pay-per-view, giving it a name like Sacrifice or Destination X or names like that. Basically, just trying to hype up Impact as must-see television. They were running with the gimmick that Spike TV and Dixie Carter had basically bought out the pay-per-view, almost giving it to the fans as a thank you for being a fan of TNA. It is sort of a desperate attempt to pull in some ratings. But honestly, I think WWE is knocking it out of the park. They ran Chicago back-to-back nights. Monday Night Raw tonight, honestly, in my opinion, was a little bit dull. There was some hype for Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. Of course, this is going to be the Royal Rumble main event. I honestly thought there was no chance in hell that they were going to be making Kevin Owens into a double champion, so it sort of made the main event sort of null and void to me. Honestly, if they were to put Roman Reigns up against Chris Jericho, I would think that there was a chance that they would take the title off of Roman, putting it on Jericho with interference from Kevin Owens. I think that's more of a believable match, but it's not what they ran with, so it is what it is. The big thing that they're hyping up tomorrow for SmackDown is, of course, the what are they calling it? The wild card finals. I honestly don't even know what the wild card finals are. That's just the name of the show that they gave it. But to me, honestly, it comes down to one thing: the return of John Cena. Cena's been gone for honestly a good while. The last time we saw him, I believe, was after he lost the one-on-one match to no, I think the last time we saw him was at No Mercy here in Sacramento when he lost that three-way. I think that was the last time we saw him. I don't think he lost the singles match to AJ, where he took off the armband, he left it in the ring about never give up. I think he came back for No Mercy. I went to that show, and I still honestly can't really remember what month that was, but he's been gone honestly for a good while. Not quite sure about what Cena's going to be doing when he comes back on the show. He could instantly challenge AJ Styles after he beats Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. That's a big match that's going to be on the show. Honestly, in my opinion, I think it meant more when it was a singles match, when it was just Ziggler against AJ. Baron Corbin being added to it doesn't really, add a whole bunch to it. I guess maybe it makes Baron Corbin more of a believable guy in the long run, but not today. He just needs to get experience. He needs to get better. And being in big matches like this, main eventing, SmackDown is going to be good for him. You don't really want him to turn into the Big Show or Mark Henry. Big Show and Mark Henry are guys that honestly WWE loves to put in main event matches after having him lose for months at a time. And then all of a sudden they'll put, John Cena versus Mark Henry as the main event of Monday Night Raw, thinking that it's going to be a huge deal because of how big Mark Henry is. And you look at Mark Henry and you're like, well, if anybody's going to be able to beat John Cena, it's going to be this guy. Baron Corbin is a guy, honestly, that if they get behind, I can honestly see him having a bright future in WWE. But the whole thing is that I can't remember Baron Corbin getting a win on SmackDown, honestly, since he beat Dolph Ziggler before SummerSlam. That was back in July when they were having that feud. And now all of a sudden they want Baron Corbin to be a real main eventer, going after the WWE Championship, being a competitor against AJ Styles. Same thing with Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler lost to Dean Ambrose at SummerSlam. He lost the feud to Baron Corbin throughout the summer. He lost to The Miz. He did beat him one time when his career was on the line, but then he just lost to him again in the rematch. So I'm not looking for anything spectacular in this match. Obviously, AJ is going to be retaining his championship and moving on. But anything can happen in WWE, I guess you can say. The Royal Rumble's up around the corner. I think that AJ is going to be keeping the championship until WrestleMania 33. So honestly, in my opinion, with John Cena coming back, if he wasn't to challenge AJ for the Royal Rumble, he honestly could just say he's going to be getting into the Rumble itself, and then winning it, and then challenging AJ, and having a big match at WrestleMania 33, which I think is a very appealing match in my opinion. Um, and then from there, as we run down the SmackDown preview, they get the championship match. Obviously, I think that AJ definitely is going to be winning that one. You have the Wyatt family defending the SmackDown Tag Team Championships in a four-corner eliminations match. That match is going to be filled out with the Usos, Heath Slater and Rhino, as well as American Alpha. I would love for American Alpha, honestly, to win this match and take the Tag Team Championships, because I think that, honestly, they have a bright future in WWE, even though the fact that they really haven't been used quite to their capability, that it's like they get pushed to the fact that everybody knows how much talent these guys have, but they're never able to really pull it out and show what they are. Obviously, something is going on with the Wyatts, with the Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, and Luke Harper sort of union. I don't really see where they're going with this, if they're going to be challenging against Undertaker and Kane, or if it's just they want us to think that they're actually playing nice, and then Randy is going to hit the biggest RKO out of nowhere on Bray Wyatt, leading to them losing the championships, and Randy being able to beat up Bray, have another match, and finally win the feud. Honestly, in my opinion, if they were becoming a false tag team, they would have already lost. Maybe not even won the tag team championships. But then again, maybe this is all a big, huge plan of Randy as some sort of payback for the whole thing with Bray. But it's almost like Kane isn't even upset at the fact that they've pulled this Master Sheme on him, and Randy hitting the RKO on Kane never really had a payoff. But then again, Kane really isn't a part of everyday WWE from here on out. The last big thing that's going to be going down on the show, of course, is going to be another championship match. Alexa Bliss putting the championship on the line against Becky Lynch. Alexa did win the championship. Did she win? I think she did win it on SmackDown when they were in Ireland. I think that's where it went down. I don't think it was on the pay-per-view, but I could be wrong. No. Yeah, because Becky Lynch beat Alexa Bliss in that match, but Alexa was able to prove that even though she tapped out, her foot was on the rope, and then she got a rematch at the pay-per-view, and as the pay-per-view is when Alexa was able to beat Becky. But I just don't think that this is the match where it's going to change hands. Alexa really has knocked it out of the park, being an excellent heel, as well as Carmella. People really knocked the SmackDown women's division after the draft. But since then, Nikki Bella has been added, and they've been having a lot of really good matches over there. Becky Lynch always is going to be, I think, what everything is built around. Alexa getting a chance for the championship, as well as being able to show off that she really is a real, true villain in the WWE, I think is really an awesome thing. This is going to be a really good show. Treat this like a pay-per-view, and I think you'll have a fun 2 hours of watching wrestling tomorrow night live from Chicago on SmackDown. So we'll see what goes on, and we'll see you guys down the road.